All right, it's about 10:30 here on Friday night. All the games for Friday are in the books, so we've got a little more information to dive into Game Week 30 prep. A couple of interesting plays this coming week that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Then I'll be back on Monday morning to record an updated minutes and projections, try to get you ready for Game Week 30. Just wanted to touch on Orlando Robinson in Miami. Obviously, he does not normally play. Did not play tonight on Friday with the coach's decision. This is just a guy who's all the way down to a 2L10. Bam Adebayo is going to sit at some point here down the stretch, and Orlando Robinson will fill in for him again. And Orlando Robinson's a guy who's capable of 30, 35, 40 points. If he gets a start, gets 30 minutes. It's hard to see these guys all the way down at 2 and completely ignore them. Just a stash play. Seth Curry in Dallas is a 5. Dallas has 3 games this upcoming week. I love reserves on teams that have 3 games in 4 days because you know those reserves are going to get some time, and this Dallas team is beat up right now. A good chance he gets some decent minutes, at least in one of these games. Somebody to keep an eye on. Keita Bates-Diop in Phoenix, I believe, played about 12 minutes tonight, so he is getting some run. 8L10 this week, couple of games. It's got his high end upside of his normal range, capping out at about 19. Jeff Green in Houston is down to a 9. We use him from time to time. Only 1 game this week. Christian Braun in Denver actually got less minutes tonight. They brought in Justin Holiday. I've got him up around 22 for a top end of his normal range. He's in play. Only 1 game for Denver, though. And here's another one in Dallas. Rashawn Holmes played 30 minutes last game, and he's at a 10. I've got him pegged for 12 minutes, but yeah, I mean, if he's getting 30, you're definitely going to want him. We'll keep an eye on Dallas over the weekend, see if he continues to get run. I kind of doubt it, but with 3 games, there's another guy that could be in there for more minutes than normal with this 3-game week. Jackson Hayes in LA we're watching pretty closely. We're going to see what happens with Davis, LeBron, and all the other Laker injuries. At 24 minutes, kind of 26 for a top end, and 2 games for the Lakers. So keep an eye on Jackson Hayes. Najee Marshall, guy I talk about a lot because he seems to always be playable. Just put up a 25. That's the top end I've got him pegged at for his range. 2 games for New Orleans. I can get him in there. Dyson Daniels all the way down to 12. Real similar to Marshall, but Marshall would be cheaper. Jordan Nwora only played 16 minutes tonight. That's exactly what I had him pegged for. High-end range was 31. He didn't get close to that. Pirtle was back, and Quickly was back. So 2 guys eating minutes. Chris Boucher didn't play at all, and Nwora did play, so I guess that's good for Nwora, bad for Boucher. I don't know if Boucher's like completely out of the rotation. He's been playing every game pretty much all year. Toronto has 1 more this weekend, so we'll see what happens in that one before we make a final determination. Marcus Morris been out with a foot injury. Philly had that 3-game week last week, and I thought he was a great play. He played the first game, didn't do anything, and then sat out the last 2, so not real encouraging. But with Embiid out, I think if he can get back on the floor, he usually plays pretty decent minutes when Embiid's out. We've got him in the high 20s, or his higher end range in the low 30s. 2-game week for Philly. Mo Bamba in Philly, 19 minutes expected, 1.27 a minute, 34 for high end range for him in 2 games. So if Marcus Morris can't go, I love Bamba as the backup to Paul Reed, getting at least 18, 19 minutes. And if he does, you can expect some points. Grant Williams in Dallas, I've got him pegged for about 26. He seemed to have come back down to earth after that 1 huge game, but Dallas, same as with Seth Curry. Grant Williams has 3 games, so I expect him to be in there and playing. 30 is definitely in play with 3 games. Lonnie Walker in Brooklyn, he's been in the mid-20s the last couple games. Brooklyn has 3 games. Obviously, you've seen Walker's upside with that 39 and the 46 in the last 2 games. Max Strus at 20, I've got all the way up near 40 in 3 games for Cleveland, so play him with some confidence. He's got a lot of opportunities here. He has tiny games, but he'll also have some big ones. 20L10, just too low for a guy who's capable of hitting 40 on the top end. So basically what this means is if his standard deviation is 12 and his top end is 40, his range would be about 24, so it'd be 16 to 40, and he's a 20 L10, so chances of beating your L10 are very good. Brandon Pajemski coming off about a 50 tonight. Great game. 14 assists. Looked like he was running the show. They took Curry off the ball, put Pajemski as the true point guard of this team. They won the game. They played well. 29 minutes expected. That's about what he's been averaging. 3 games for Golden State. He's also up in that high 30s range. I wouldn't be scared to deploy him either, but he is a rookie, so he's going to be expensive to pick up if you don't own him already. Precious Achua in New York getting huge minutes. Last 5 average is 34, but put him all the way up to about 40. He seems to be getting a ton of minutes with Randall out. L10 still pretty low at 22. He can get you over 40 on a good night. Spencer Dinwiddie's minutes have been coming down a little bit. Got him down to 28. As a 23 L10 though, he can still beat that real easily in 3 games for Brooklyn. Santi Aldama in Memphis. Bad game tonight after a good one yesterday, but second of a back-to-back, we're going to forgive that one. We'll see what he can do in the second game of the weekend. A 24 L10, still really low for a guy this talented. 43, pretty easily in play for him, especially if he's going to get over 30 minutes, and I think he will. Kelly Oubre going to get a lot of minutes in Philly. He's been playing high 30s, average 33 for the last 5, but at 25, he can certainly get you up near 40 as well in 2 games for Philly. Bogdan Bogdanovic had a nice 39 tonight. 43 is his top end, 2 games. 26 L10, you could certainly play him. Nurkic in Phoenix, 1.2 points a minute, really good. His minutes have been down a little bit, but still capable of 40s on a good night. 2 games for Phoenix. Draymond's been really good. He's in the mid-30s, I believe, tonight, but his high-end outcome and his normal range is definitely higher than that. And 3 games for Golden State, so I think you can deploy him at a 29. Aaron Nesmith's at 30, same range as Draymond. 2 games for Indiana. Here's Brogdon again. He's up to 32, but playing tons of minutes, 37. Top end of his normal range is almost 54. So you got that 15 standard deviation, which means his range would be somewhere in the 24 to 54 area. And as a 32 L10, you can certainly play that. Dante DiVincenzo, I think you might be able to expect more minutes than 33, where I have him pegged right now. We'll see what he plays over the weekend. He can get you up to 50 based on 33 minutes. So if he goes up to 37, 38 minutes, you're looking at quite a bit higher. 2 games for New York. Scotty Barnes at 36, projected at 58. 2 games for Toronto, 1.24 a minute. Very good. I just don't see the usage. I think these numbers are based on pre-trade when he was on the ball all the time and he was leading them every night. And they're a different team now. Team context has changed. He's got a different role within the team structure, and I just can't see him putting up that many points right now. But he is skilled. He does do a little of everything, and he is their best player, so I would say there's definitely a chance he gets that high. Anthony Edwards, mid-50s. Well, this is a great play. 2 games for the Wolves. De'Aaron Fox up over 60. Finally had a decent game tonight. He put up about 50, toward the higher end of his range at least. We're going to see what he does in the second game this weekend, tomorrow night in Chicago. So we'll see if he can beat the 50 he put up tonight. He's absolutely going to be in play next week with the top end of over 60. Trae Young right there with Fox. I'd prefer Young right now. He just seems to be in better form. Slightly higher upside, but about the same. Also 2 games. Steph Curry's got 3 shots at it. 57 for a high end. I wouldn't be afraid of that one. LeBron projected high end 65. Let's see if he can get back on the floor first, but that's a huge one for him. 45 L10. Work your LeBron in if you've got one. Sabonis up over 60, but he's a 47, so you'd rather have LeBron there. Davis is up to 67 for a projection, but is he healthy? 2 games for the Lakers. And the real high-end guys got Giannis at 68, Jokic at 74. He just scored 75 tonight. Embiid's obviously going to be out, and then Doncic is your top play again, almost 87 for a projection on him. So we'll see, but that's based on 43 minutes. That's what he's been playing. So, I mean, that's kind of what I'm using, but that's insane. Probably why he's injured all the time is because Jason Kidd is just running him ragged. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. 3 games for Dallas. Hopefully he's out there. That's how we're watching this weekend. I'll update the minutes closer to Monday's tip, and we'll be back with an update on Monday morning to let you know who the best plays are coming over the weekend. Obviously, I'll take into account any injuries that happened over the weekend. We'll be looking at the rotations and seeing who's been getting minutes and who hasn't. But here's your first look at Game Week 30.